Hello everyone, this is AshAr Kamran and you are watching my YouTube channel AlphA with AshAr. Today I'm going to answer a very important question that arises in almost every person's mind who is learning his second language, that why there are so many people who haven't any idea about the grammar of the second language but still they can speak that language quite fluently and confidently. So in this video I will give you very important tips that how you can start speaking English language without learning the grammar of it. There are thousands of rules of English grammar, and if you're a beginner, it is really impossible for you to learn all those rules and keep them in mind before speaking this language. You must have noticed a particular thing with some people who go abroad where a different language is spoken. They spend some years over there, and when they come back they really can speak that language quite fluently and confidently. Actually, what happens to them is when they go abroad and they don't know anything about that language, they need to communicate with the native people over there. So they start using a few words of that language initially, and with the passage of time their mind starts learning a few more things about that language. For example, the sentence structure, for example the grammatical structure of that language, and by they start speaking that language quite fluently and confidently. So here is the first tip, that how you can start your conversation in English if you don't know anything about its grammar. It is basically a very short way, I believe, because it's just one word communication. If somebody asks you a question and you don't know anything about the grammar, how to answer that question, you can answer that particular question in just one word. For example, if somebody asks you, how are you? And you don't know how to answer that question in the form of a full sentence, you can only say that, fine. If you meet somebody for the first time and he asks, what is your name? And you don't know how to answer that question in full sentence, you can only pronounce your name, Aslam. And if he asks a few more questions about you, for example, what is your father's name, where do you live, what is your home address, what is your phone number? So we have one word answer for all these questions. You don't have to worry about the grammar. Let's look at some more examples of some sentences you can answer with only one word. For example, if somebody asks you when do you get up in the morning, you can answer with only one word, 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Or somebody asks you, what is your favorite movie? What is your favorite sports? Who is your favorite player? What is the name of your city? You can answer all these questions in one word. And there are so many other situations you can start speaking that language, that second language, with only one word communication. And as soon as your mind gets comfortable using those one word communication, it will definitely start learning and understanding a few more things about that language. For example, it will definitely help you understand the grammar and sentence structure of that language, and you can easily communicate with fluency and confidence everywhere. Tip number 2 is basically the next level of the tip number 1. Because as soon as you get comfortable using that one word communication with the native speakers, you would definitely become smart enough to take a few more words from the question and then use those words into your answer to make it a complete sentence. We will look at those sentences we used earlier in the tip number 1 as an example, and see how we can take a few more words from the question statement and use them into our answer to make it a full sentence. When you'll get up to this level of understanding, you'll be quite smart enough to differentiate between the main word, which is verb, the helping verb, or other things you have to take out from that sentence to make it a complete answer. If you look at the example we used earlier, which is, when do you get up in the morning? So the question here is, when do you get up in the morning? So you is used for a person who is standing in front of the speaker. So it means the person who is going to answer is basically going to use I for himself, right? So we'll use I in place of you, and then get up in the morning. I get up in the morning at 6 a.m., right? Or at 7 a.m. So we used the words get up in the morning from the sentence to use it into the answer and make it a full sentence. Let's look at the next example. What is your favorite movie? So your is basically, when it comes to an answer, it would be my, right? My favorite movie is Titanic, Troy, or any other movie. And just look at the next example. What is your favorite sports? So we'll start our answer from your, replace it with my. My favorite sports is cricket or hockey or soccer. And let's move towards the next example. Who is your favorite player? And we'll start our answer from your. Your is converted into my. My favorite player is David Beckham. You can clearly see from the example that the blue words we are taking from the question statement and using them into the answers are not being changed. Only the red words are being changed. The two tips we discussed in this video would be quite helpful for the beginners. Initially to start their communication in one word, and after that they would be quite intelligent enough to take a few words out of the question statement and use it in their answer to make it a full sentence. So in our next video, definitely we'll talk about the next level of your speaking and understanding, and that would help you a lot to become a fluent and confident speaker.